Eurozone is the group of countries which uses euro as their currency. Finland, Ireland, Belgium, Portugal, Netherlands, France, Spain, Germany, Luxembourg and Austria joined Eurozone in 1999. Then joined Greece in 2001, which is actually the root for the problem. Later, Slovenia in 2007 and then Malta and Cyprus in 2008. What's in for Greece? According to agreement, Greece can now borrow loans at lower interest rates from the other euro nations.
So, what's the problem? Greece borrowed lots of money from other euro nations, because of lower interest rates. Don't we tend to do the same if we find two banks, one which gives loan at rate of 10% and other 15% on saving? Greece did the similar thing, which lead to the problem. Gradually, debt piled up heavily. Deficit was 12.7%, which is not good for any nation. Now, how did Greece try to cover this? Budget deficit of 12.7% was shown as 3.7%, covered most part of its debt, but later, the facts were disclosed. This led to the beginning of the crisis. One more problem. Greece had $73 billion of maturities to be paid in 2010 alone. Series of problems lead to the actual crisis. Let's see what is Greece government doing? Borrowed loans of €110 billion from ECB and IMF to clear off the previous debts, whose interest rate is 5 times the official interest rate. ECB and IMF demanded to increase the taxes and reduce the state expenses, which was an increased burden on the citizens. So, what was its impact on India? A slowdown in Europe would naturally have a negative impact on foreign trade, and lead to loss of revenue, as well as jobs, in export-oriented industries. The impact of a slowdown would be much more severe in the service sector, particularly BPO and software, where trade is skewed in India's favor. In addition, if the European contagion spreads and leads to a global slowdown, this would impact India's trade with other countries as well, and thus hit the domestic economy directly as well as indirectly. Lower incomes, job loss etc. would also translate into lower domestic demand, thus leading to slower growth even in the sectors dependent on domestic demand. Impact on financial market. Indian markets declining by nearly 4% in mid-August alone. Gold being the globally preferred safe asset, its prices show a sharp spike during any crisis. Depreciation in currency due to flight of capital, a slowdown in remittances and NRI deposits. As we have seen, the Eurozone crisis is considered as probably the biggest test the EU has gone through. How the European Union and Greece are handling the crisis will reflect to what extent the European Union is able to function on its own, as a powerful economic entity.